This is, right, the University of Chicago. You know everyone, right?
I've never seen it.
Beautiful, right? But you know what is it? This one, the garden. This is built from 1893 when Columbia's explorations were there. This is called Midway Pleasance. I mean, this is the build from there. And when University of Chicago was built, they just remained the garden the same for the football, for the matches from the World Fair. Let's go back in 1893 that you know what was that, the garden for the University of Chicago. Okay, what was the World Fair? The Columbia's the exploration was held in the Chicago and also known as a World Fair to celebrate 400 years Christopher Columbus that came in 1492 in the New World. That it means come in the first Columbus was come in the United States to find the continent in 1492, and they will like celebrate the Columbus Fair. And when the Columbus Fair was hosted, on that time there was like 4 cities gonna be like Washington DC, New York City, and Chicago and St. Louis. And for all 4 cities, the Chicago beat the all cities and get the honor of the host for the World Fair. And I'm going to talk about the history, the architectures, and attraction. And in the last, let me remind that why the Chicago was the Windy City. So that I will know you that why they call it Windy City. Let me remind it, okay? If I forgot it. I know I forgot so many things, but just let me remind it. So the history. This is the look like a World Fair. This is the place where Jackson Park right now. You can see this building on the Jackson Park, but not this one, just a garden, just a blank out there, nothing else. Those buildings just are made for temporary for the 6 months, and it take a long time to build it, but those just for the temporary. And from this building, there was 2 or 3 buildings just remain right now, like a garden. Did you see in the University of Chicago in front of the garden there was? And I'm going to talk about the descriptions too on the history. So this is the planning and organization look like this. This will like cover the all South Shore, the area like Jackson Park, Hayate Park. Then they call them Midway Places. The right now has a University of Chicago, and they cover mostly all the south side. The descriptions. The fair opened in May 1st, 1893, sorry, and closed on October 3rd, 1893. There was 46 countries, nations were participated. Nearly 26 million visitors were there, and more than 200 building was built. And I'm going to talk about now the architectures, the building, the White City, the manufacturers, library, arts building, and the transportations building. So the White City. You know why they call the White City? Not because of the white, of course not. They call the White City because of the street lights, because of, they were like, the style of the building was a neoclassical style, they called it. And there was like a street, the lighting, the bulb was white. So like in the night, you can see the city as a white city. The manufacturers and the library arts building. The building is a fact is that if this building today build it, this gonna be a second volume in the building, and third footprint building in the list of the largest building. If this building were today remain, but there's no more building. So like a bigger right now. And transportation building. This building was built for showing them to modern Americans. Just like showing them that how Americans are there. I mean, this is the Golden Gate, they called it. And this is the purpose of this building, they call it a modern American lifestyle. Now I'm going to talking about the attraction of the World Fair there. Why those 26 million people were come there? What was the attraction was there? The original Ferris wheels, moving walkway, midway palaces, and the film museum. So this is the Ferris wheels. And I think you know, right? What is a Ferris wheel? Before, did you heard it? Ferris wheels about it? Okay, the fact from the Ferris wheels, like on that time, they were like running from the money means bankrupt, and Ferris wheel helps to help for the money from the bankrupt because of the lack of the money. You know what I mean? The Ferris wheel like this is a rotation of 20 minutes, and the stop is the 6th stop to enter and exit. This is the moving walkway. You know, right? What is a moving walkway? When you go to the airport and they have like a moving walkway where you just need to stand up. This is on that time there was a moving walkway. Can you imagine how was there?
Cool.
It is. This is the midway palaces, which I was talking about my first time the picture, University of Chicago. The first, there was like, look like this, but now just a garden they have, nothing else. This is the film museum, still is called a film museum, a national history right now. And this is the picture from Columbia's Fair. Just look like this film museum. Okay. Oh, Windy City about it. Oh, I forgot. Now I remember Windy City. Why they call the Windy City? Not because of the windy. No, this is not completely true. Can you tell me that?
That's corruption.
Corruptions, yeah, you got it. And any more reason that why they call the Windy City? Not for the windy. Any more reason?
For politicals, no? Politicians.
Politicians, you got it. Any more? No? Because of Chicago was a serial killer politician on that time, they call it. And because of the Chicago was like bluff. You know, every time Chicago was like coming in the news, coming in the something like the Chicago was doing something that everyone know, oh Chicago do that, oh Chicago do that. So why they call the Windy City? Not because of the windy. You got it right? Thank you.